everyone, my name is Isaac.
And I'm Kate. Welcome back to The Wave.
We're so excited for this week's episode, but first, let's check out this week's artist.
I'm Maddie. I'm from Charlton, New York. I kind of make pop singer-songwriter music. I've honestly been doing music my whole life, and I think I kind of always knew I wanted to pursue that. When I was little, I wanted to be an actress, author, singer, songwriter, veterinarian. So we stuck with the music stuff. A lot of my performance skills came from my musical theater experience, and sometimes I write more dramatic pieces because I draw on some of that experience as well. It's just kind of fun to dive into that world. My favorite way to perform so far is with a full band. Only last year did I start doing that, and it's been a blast. I love having like a full group behind me. But then also for solo shows, I was lucky enough that I got to play with the Bluebird this year, and that was a huge bucket list thing, and it was so cool. I played a release show at Dark Matter, and when my album came out, and it was crazy that there were enough people there that knew me and knew the music that they were all like singing along to stuff. That was crazy to me. I had the most fun that night. I like to write out my lyrics beforehand because it helps me feel like I'm not going to forget them. I like to run through the songs, usually like wearing the shoes that I'm going to be wearing because it helps with my posture. And then, yeah, I like to just kind of run through them and warm up and then just eat like a chill dinner, head to the show. I think the biggest way that I've been growing my following lately is on TikTok because I kind of always tried to ignore it and put it away. And then this year I really tried to commit to it, and I've been getting a lot out of that, more than I thought I would. And that's actually gone over and helped me gain more Instagram followers and things like that. And so I want to make sure I can turn that into a real fan base of people who would like come see shows and stuff like that. So I'm trying to just like make it a community. Everything was kind of happening all at once early this year, and it was all good things, but it was super overwhelming, especially with schoolwork and all that. And so I kind of just tried to like make lists and stay organized and find time to just like take a bath and like not think about social media or anything. I just had spring break and my friends and I went to LA, and I like didn't post anything. I was just like having fun, so it's important to take breaks for sure. Thank you so much to The Wave for having me. I'm Maddie. You can find me at Maddie Hicks 13 on Instagram and TikTok, or maddyhicks.com, and I'm on all the streaming services. Thank you.
I can't wait to see Maddie perform, but before we do, let's take a look at this week's music news.
The Grammy Awards are just around the corner, as the show is set on April 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show will be held at MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas with live performances from artists such as Jack Harlow, Billie Eilish, and BTS. A few of the top nominees include Justin Bieber, Doja Cat, and Olivia Rodrigo. You can watch this year's show live on CBS or stream it through Paramount+.
It has been 3 years since Harry Styles released his record-breaking album, Fine Line. Styles and his team finally announced that he will be releasing a third studio album entitled Harry's House. Before the announcement, the album was teased using a cryptic website called You Are Home, where fans pieced together that it was connected to the new album. The album is set to release on May 20th, but fans are expecting the first single of the album to be released very soon.
Miley Cyrus recently canceled her festival performance in Paraguay after her plane was struck by lightning. Thankfully, the plane made a safe emergency landing, and Cyrus assured that everyone on board was safe. The festival was also affected by the severe weather and had to close on the first day of the celebration. Headliners for the festival included artists such as Machine Gun Kelly, Doja Cat, and the Foo Fighters.
And that wraps up this week's music news.
We'll be right back to sit down with Maddie Hicks.
And as promised, we are back with Maddie Hicks.
All right, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I was listening to you earlier before the show, and I was listening to, I think the album was called Reclaiming. Can you discuss like what the album is about and like what it means to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, kind of early in the year, I started recording for that project, and I actually ended up releasing it in waves throughout the year. I had like an EP with the first half, and then later an EP with the second half, and then the full album. It's kind of just about the process of losing yourself and refinding yourself when you're in your 20s and, you know, just life is crazy. But yeah, it means a lot to me. It's my favorite project I've done at this point. So
That's
yeah.
so great. I noticed in like the album artwork for that, you had like the two cities side by side.
Yeah.
So what brought you from New York to Tennessee? Like what brought you here?
Yeah. So I knew from high school that I wanted to be studying songwriting in college. And there's only a couple of colleges in the US that have a songwriting major,
Right.
Belmont being one of them. And so I visited the other schools, and when I came to Nashville, I was like, I just know this is like the right place for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what brought me here.
Yeah,
That's
and TSU does have like a really good music program for like
Absolutely.
anything music, really. So what advice would you give to like upcoming women who are trying to get into the songwriting process and like or pop?
Yeah, I would say just like keep going, because a lot of the time it feels like you're just spinning your wheels, and it's sometimes scary to like stand up for yourself and be confident. But if you just are sure of what you know you want to do and you're just kind about it all the time, then like things line up, and it's just important to keep going.
That's awesome, yeah.
That's such a good like piece of advice. So in your little like pre-interview, you mentioned that you performed at the Bluebird Cafe, and that was like a big deal for you. So can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so the first time that I got to do that was in October, and my family actually came out to see it. It was their Sunday Writers Night, and so I got to do 3 original songs, and I was so nervous, but it went really well. And then I got to do it again in February this year, so
Oh, that's awesome. So you've performed there twice now.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love
Yeah.
it.
It's just as scary the second time, but still so rewarding.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I know a little bit like Taylor Swift history. She also performed there, so I think that's so cool that you also performed there. So it's just like I don't
Legends
know.
being formed
legends
in
being
the Bluebird
born.
Cafe.
Yeah, I love Taylor Swift, so that's like huge for me also.
That's awesome.
So like since you performed at like that cafe and it's a little bit of a smaller venue, do you have any like big venues that you dream of like performing at one day?
Yeah, the biggest one is definitely Madison Square Garden, because it's like I actually saw Taylor Swift there, and so
Oh, that's
it's like
incredible.
huge,
Wow.
and it would be a dream. But yeah, I mean, now that I've been here, I'm like Bridgestone would be really cool too. I'd love
Right?
to play arenas one day. I think that'd be amazing.
Absolutely.
You also said that you in the pre-interview that you have a following on TikTok. And I actually followed you like before, like knowing that you were coming onto the show, and I was like really like shocked. And I saw this TikTok, and I think it was like the kind of over it. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about, but that specific song, I love how you wrote it, and it's like it's very different than most like traditional songs because you like reuse the same word. I think it's super cool, and I think it's really interesting. So like, what inspired you to like write that in a way?
Yeah, so I actually wasn't much on TikTok before this year, and I decided that I wanted to try and like get motivated on there. So I wanted to put out a clip of something that I wrote in 2021 for every day in January. So for that particular song, I wrote that I think in December, just kind of like about a guy or whatever. And then when I actually performed it for the TikTok, I was kind of feeling down about something else. So it's kind of like unrelated, but I kind of used it to just motivate me in the moment. And yeah, it was really kind of raw, and I guess people resonated with that a lot, which is wild, and I did not expect that one to blow up at all.
Yeah. So when can we expect to see like a full version of that song and like other music coming out?
Yeah, definitely within the next couple of months. I can't say for sure, but we're like almost finished recording with a couple of them.
Awesome.
So
I'm excited
really
to hear
excited.
it.
Yeah.
For sure. So you mentioned that you were also a musical theater fan. So if you like had a all-time favorite musical, what would you pick?
I think it would probably be Waitress the musical.
That's such a good one.
I love Sarah Bareilles, always have, and I got to see her in it on Broadway, and it was really cool.
Oh, I bet.
So, and the music in that is just crazy good. So I definitely love that one.
That's such a good choice.
So do you have any social media that we can kind of follow you on or get to know you?
Yeah, on Instagram and TikTok, I'm at Maddie Hicks 13. It's Maddie with a Y. And then my website is just maddiehicks.com. And then I'm on all the streaming services, same name.
All right. Well, we will be right back with Maddie's performance.
make me blush, but you use it as a crutch. And every time I ask you something about your past, suddenly you act like you want me off your back. I know you know me better than I do, but I don't know a thing about you. What do you stand for and wanna hold my hand for? You hold the door, but that doesn't cut it anymore. Let's skip the banter and get right to the answer. You gotta learn to trust enough to open up. You gotta learn to trust enough to truly love. You gotta learn to trust enough. You never wanna fight. Real love ain't always nice. Won't know if this is right till we dare to break the ice. And I know you know me better than I do, but I don't know a thing about you. What do you stand for and wanna hold my hand for? You hold the door, but that doesn't cut it anymore. Let's skip the banter and get right to the answer. You gotta learn to trust enough to open up. You gotta learn to trust enough to truly love. You gotta learn to trust enough. Some nights I lie awake, boy, 'cause I don't know who I'm lying next to. Don't know how long to wait, 'cause if you won't be true, how can I trust you, baby? What do you stand for and wanna hold my hand for? You hold the door, but that doesn't cut it anymore. Let's skip the banter and get right to the answer. You gotta learn to trust enough to tell me what you stand for and wanna hold my hand for. You hold the door, but that doesn't cut it anymore. Let's skip the banter, I wanna hear an answer. You gotta learn to trust enough to open up. You got to learn to trust enough to truly love. You gotta learn to trust enough.
That's it for this week's episode of The Wave.
Be sure to check out Maddie Hicks on our Spotify playlist and give us a follow on Instagram to stay up to date for the rest of the season.
We'll see you next week.